Hello folks, Jared Fairclough here and welcome to the very first episode of 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a brand new Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. You may have seen recently that the Muppets are celebrating their 70th anniversary with 70 weeks of spotlights on an assortment of Muppet characters, and they've kindly invited Tough Pigs along for the ride. From now until December 2025, we'll be releasing weekly podcast episode on each week's showcased character. We've got a whole bunch of hosts lined up. I myself won't be back until episode 9, and each host is going to do the show in their own way. There might be a guest, there might not. It might be normal, it might be chaotic. This episode itself became unintentionally chaotic, but you'll see what I mean in about 16 minutes. But make sure to subscribe to this channel and stay tuned, we've got a whole lot of surprises in store. But for now, play the music and light the lights, and let's get things started. Hello, welcome to 70 Years, 70 Muppets, a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. This is the podcast where we celebrate the Muppets' 70th anniversary with 70 straight weeks of spotlights on our favourite Muppet characters, from the most popular to the most obscure. I am this week's host, Jared Fairclough, and the Muppet of the week is Rowlf the Dog, originally performed by Jim Henson and later Bill Beretta, and designed by Jim Henson, making his world debut in 1962. My first guest today is a long-time Muppet performer behind characters like Walter, Lips, Statler, and Joe the Legal Weasel, but ironically not Rowlf the Dog, who we're here to talk about. Or perhaps you know him best as the Dolphin Wrangler in Season 1 of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt in a cameo I'd forgotten about until genuinely by chance I happened to watch that episode last night. It's Peter Linz!
Hi, Jared. Thanks for having me talk about a character I have nothing to do with.
You're welcome, my friend. My second guest is currently driving a car, but she's usually driving characters like Brea from the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, Mummy from the Muppets Haunted Mansion, or Squonk from Turkey Hollow. Or perhaps you know her best as the hippie with Zoot at Nora's party in the first episode of The Muppets Mayhem. It's Alice Dinnean.
Hello.
It's just a weird coincidence that we're together. It never happened.
Now, as I mentioned, Alice, you're currently driving a car. Can you just do me a massive favor and just curb your road rage? Just I don't want the bad words to come out.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, it's I get really wound up, but the back roads in North Georgia.
Look, do your best. And obviously, Alice, feel free to chime in with any thoughts.
Okay.
So we're here to talk about Rowlf. As I said, debuted in 1962 with ads for Purina Dog Chow. Did you guys know that Jim got offered a lot of money for Purina to own the rights to Rowlf the Dog? Because I didn't until last night.
I did not know that. That's something new. Did you know that, Alice?
I did not know that.
We did not know that.
Yeah, I assumed that he had already been existing before he started doing Purina and Jimmy Dean and so on, because he represented multiple products.
Correct,
right?
But I believe Purina was first.
Okay.
But he was offered $100,000
in
1962.
63.
Yeah, in 19.
Wow, and he turned them down.
It turned them down. Adjusted
Jim
for inflation.
was brilliant about that. Yes.
So I was going to say, adjusted for inflation, that's now over $1 million.
Wow. Yeah, he was brilliant about that. I believe he did that with the Sesame Street characters as well. He retained ownership of the things he created back in the day.
It's the smart thing to do. When you think about it, I think he got his money's worth. Well, no, didn't get his money. I think he got more than his money's worth. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. So he joined the Jimmy Dean show around 1963, making him... He was like the first nationwide famous Muppet. Kermit had been around, but Rowlf sort of took the country by storm. What do you think it is about Rowlf that sort of makes him so beloved?
He's a talking dog. He's the everyman talking dog. And he's just so real, I don't know. What do you think, Alice? That's always a difficult question.
I mean, and he's silly and wise at the same time. He's got a lot of gravitas, but it's also completely ridiculous with the ears flopping around.
It's true. I think it's he's quite a calm character as well. You look at the chaos of the Muppets and the level-headed one. We call Kermit the level-headed one. I'd argue it's probably Rowlf more than it is Kermit.
Agreed. Absolutely agree. Yeah.
Uh,
And
Rowlf wasn't always there all the time. I sort of feel like he's slightly outside that main group. He shows up if you need a piano player, but
well, he does now, but originally,
Yeah.
he was the guy.
well, that's it. So, like, through the 60s, it looked like Rowlf was sort of gearing up to be, like, the main Muppet, sort of before Kermit took over. Like, Rowlf hosted the Muppets on Puppet special, and he led the Sesame Street pitch video. You know, why do you... Any thoughts, ideas, theories as to sort of why that dynamic shifted and, you know, the frog became the big guy?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Wow.
Why it shifted. I mean, from a puppetry standpoint, Kermit is so much more expressive given his squishy face, and Rowlf doesn't have that. Maybe Jim, I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no real idea. But maybe he wanted to try something new after doing Rowlf for so many years.
Rowlf was more of a character, and Kermit was more of an avatar for Jim himself.
Oh, that's a good way of thinking about it. You're a smart woman, Alice. That's why we love you.
Oh, thanks.
Well, you know, Rowlf famously came up with the name Sesame Street in the pitch film.
That's right.
That's right.
He only appeared in the actual series once that I was able to find.
Oh, yeah. I know the video. I know the film you're talking about. Yeah, he just doesn't he spin around in a circle? Sorry, continue.
Spins around in a circle and there's there's 9 lights or something around him.
That's right.
There's no real sort of question here. I think it's more just, you know, I don't know. You might know, you know, having worked for Disney and Sesame, is there a reason Rowlf was never really around? Or wasn't used for that show when, you know, Kermit was?
You know what? I was 2 years old at the time, so I don't know exactly, but...
Well, why not, Peter? Come on, mate.
Well, okay, fine. It's because Kermit has a squishy face and he's more expressive. No, I don't. That's my answer to every question you ask. I don't know.
That's fair. I'm not even sure what a Rowlf on Sesame would look like.
Yeah, you know what? He's a grown-up. I mean, he's a grown dog, and he has a life and live. You know, he's not like a kid or... He would have to be an adult character. They already have humans for that. At least back in the day, they did.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe a talking dog was a bridge too far. I don't know. For children.
That was a bridge too far. But the most terrifying bird puppet in the early 70s was absolutely fine.
That's right. No problem with that. That's a bird.
No, your thoughts, Alice? Anything jumped out?
Well, I was thinking, I didn't really know that Rowlf had been on Sesame even once, but I guess now that you mentioned the turning around in a circle, I have seen that.
Yeah.
But he's kind of the same size and shape and eye placement and nose placement and slight vibe as Ernie, right? And
that's true.
Maybe kind of transferred into that character, which again is a little more toward Jim and away from being a character, like a character-y character. You know what I mean by that?
Right.
So yeah, you're sparking some connections that I hadn't thought about before.
No, well, you make an interesting point where you say, you know, he's got that same vibe as Ernie. I guess there's no one more qualified to talk about the vibe of Ernie in this conversation than you, Alice, because of course you play Ernie.
Well, yes, I know. It's an honor to have a legacy character like that. So
it's uncanny. Her Ernie is it's on point. Sometimes I have trouble when I watch her work. I feel like I'm watching Jim Henson.
I know, it's like he's there in the room.
That's it. I'm gonna need to hear your Ernie voice, please, Alice.
Are you ready? My Ernie's really good. Here it goes.
Oh, hi there, Jared. You know, I've met Rowlf the Dog on a few occasions, but no, we haven't worked together so much on Sesame Street. Actually, I don't work on Sesame Street. I just live there. Wow, Alice, that was
good, Alice.
Amazing.
I know.
She's so good.
I'm so impressed.
You know, it's funny. It's kind of like your Ernie that you're doing. I mean, I know it sounds a lot like Jim's, but I feel like you're doing like a cross between Jim's Ernie and what Steve did for years.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
You still need to work on it a little more to get into get into the Jim pocket.
Yeah.
Workshop a bit.
Exactly my thoughts. You
Good note.
Yeah. But if you kind of take off the ears and shave Rolf down and take away his piano playing skills and put a stripy sweater on him, it's not that far off. I mean, I know that's a lot of things you'd have to do,
but you're not wrong. The vibe is definitely there. And I mean, right, jokes aside, Peter, what are your thoughts on that? Obviously, as Ernie.
Yeah, no, I think Alice is onto something with the shape and everything. Yeah, what I love, I don't know, this might be jumping ahead of your talk, what you've got prepared, but I would love to talk about what what Bill Beretta does with Rowlf, which is just freaking fantastic.
Please do. Give me your thoughts.
No, just Bill's amazing. I think you said it. One of the first things you said is just Rowlf is just so real. He's just kind of calm, and everything's going crazy around him, and he just delivers the one smart, dry line, and that's just who he is. And Bill captures that so magnificently. I've gotten to do Rowlf's hands quite a few times with Bill, and it's just so funny. And Bill, he's such a powerful actor. He's just everything that comes out of his mouth when he's performing a character is so real and in the moment, and it's just so present and alive and believable, and it's just magical what he does. And I love, and we always laugh, and it always cracks me up when he's performing Rowlf, because he is just so dry and so real.
Yeah, Bill's Rowlf is the funniest straight man out there.
Yeah, truly.
I agree. I think Rowlf's a great. He's that good sort of character. He can be the straight man, but he can also be the he can be the jokester. I mean, you look at something like Dr. Bob in Veterinarian's Hospital.
Oh, I think that. Yeah.
I think that works so well because you've got such a crazy chaotic character like Dr. Bob, who you contrast that with the cool, calm, collected Rowlf the Dog, who sings, I hope that something better comes along, or whatever it might be. So yeah, I think that's why that character works. But we talk about we talk about music, and Rowlf, like, music is Rowlf's passion. I guess besides the Mayhem, Rowlf's probably the most musical. Does Rowlf need music as a character to work, or do you think he can work without that sort of side?
Work without it, but how magnificent that he doesn't have to.
Yeah, and he didn't start out as a piano player.
That's right. It's a skill he learned throughout his life. So, right, when he was huge on the Jimmy Dean show, he wasn't playing piano, to my knowledge, right?
I don't think so. He was just being himself and
Yeah.
cracking wise.
He was cracking wise. Well, he did 56 songs on the Muppet Show, which I didn't realize. That's over half the episodes have a Rowlf song. That's where he's either alone or he's accompanied. And he played a lot more instruments than I would have thought. Like, obviously we got piano. Anyone care to take a guess at some of the other instruments he's played?
He played harpsichord, didn't he?
He did play harpsichord.
Yeah. I'm gonna ukulele, trumpet. I'm guessing from the Jimmy Dean days.
He has played ukulele. He has played the synthesizer. Oh, hello, folks. Jared here. Unfortunately, at this point of the interview, Peter and Alice lost signal and just disappeared. We tried for the next 20 minutes or so to get back together, but we just kept missing each other. So unfortunately, we were unable to wrap up the chat, which is a real shame because we were having a great time and I had some more fun stuff planned. We're going to talk about favourite moments. For my money, my favourite Rowlf moment is probably his chat with Kermit before they sing I Hope That Something Better Comes Along in the Muppet movie. For me, it just cements Rowlf as a friendly ear, and the guidance he provides, probably qualifies to be a guidance dog. Waka waka. That would have been so much funnier if I had an audience to laugh at that when I'd made that joke. But whatever. Look, that's it for us for the episode 1. Thanks again to Peter Linz and Alice Dinnean for their time and for trying their best to get back on the Zoom even when it all seemed lost. Stay tuned next week and every week for the next 70 as we
You've got mail.
Hang on. I'm getting a message through. Ladies and gentlemen, we take you live to an airport somewhere.
Well, sorry we got interrupted while we were speaking earlier. It's the perils of trying to do an interview while you're driving through a rural area.
Now we're in an airport, which is even better. Oh, listen to that.
Oh, good. You get announcements, too. Fantastic. Anyway, I don't have any particularly funny or entertaining stories about assisting Bill with Rowlf, other than it's a joy anytime I get to assist Bill with anything. You know, his performance of Rowlf, he's so dry and so real and so funny. Also, it's a thrill to get to fake play the piano.
Gotta say, my favorite Rowlf thing recently has been was the in the live shows when he did "I've Been Everywhere," and he customized the Johnny Cash song. I guess it isn't even originally a Johnny Cash song. It's a
I don't know who did it originally.
Anyway, we all think of it as a Johnny Cash song, but now I think of it as a Rowlf the Dog song.
That's
because
right.
He did customized versions for Los Angeles and also for London.
That's right, he sure did. And I got to right hand and two hand for him a lot during the 2015 ABC series. So that was a joy, and I'm sure I must have done it for Muppets Most Wanted and, oh gosh, a host of other things. Oh, those Facebook Portal commercials. I think he was had a close-up on his fingers on the keys, playing the introductory chords to the Muppet Show theme. Yeah. Anything else?
You know, we'll give a little shout out to Old Brown Ears is back, kind of a deep cut, but
That's true. Oh, isn't that a wonderful album?
yep.
Yeah, I hope you'll play some cuts from that if you're able. Okay, well, I can't tell if my phone's still recording. Oh, it is. Hey, look at that. Neat.
All right. Well, lots of Rowlf love here from us.
Absolutely. I would love to give you more insights, but I'm like most of you all, I'm just a fan and have very little to do with creating or maintaining his character. I just love him so. Don't you, Alice?
I do.
We love him so. We love you too, Jared.
You're the best.
70 Years, 70 Muppets is a Muppet fan podcast presented by toughpigs.com. Hosted by a whole myriad of people and edited by them as well. Produced by Jared Fairclough. The Muppets 70 logo used with permission by the Muppet Studio with thanks to Danny Iglesias, Frank Reif Snyder and Lee Slaughter. Don't forget to follow toughpigs.com on all social media platforms. You can support us by heading to patreon.com/toughpigs or buying a t-shirt at tpublic.com/toughpigs.